Yes. Today, we let the music bring us home to be on the one. And there's so much that's transpired in our last year. It is important to lift up on this day folks who have died in the last year, who are in our hearts. And I thought this year we could, as many of us are trying to be our best selves, cleaner, stronger, better, with love and courage and hope, we could take a moment to look back on folks who have died, who showed us ways of being which we'd like to emulate, both private, personal folks and public figures. And my dear, wonderful colleague, Gloria, told me about a month ago, she said, well, you know, a lot of people died, a lot of big public people died this year that really meant a lot to me, Gloria. And I said, yeah, tell me about it. So she did, and I started thinking, so I appreciate Gloria getting me going in this direction. So I want to lift up some folks who possibly could channel some of their energy and ways of being. Rockers, David Bowie and Prince. David Bowie and Prince, awesome. Brilliant, creative, broke out of narrow ways of seeing and being in the world. Maurice White, founder of Earth, Wind & Fire. George Michael, one of the, I just have to say it, one of the best dancing white dudes there is, really, ever. Him and Justin Timberlake. Both guys gave us happy, empowering groove. Empower your groove. Merle Haggard, country singer, rose up from poverty and prison to sing songs about underdogs and pride. Okie from the Muskogee. With pioneering courage and giving hope to many, Isabelle Dignor was the French woman who received the world's first partial face transplant and lived many, many years in well-being with that. Pat Summitt, amazing human being, winningest coach in college basketball history, a female coach herself. Coach Summitt lifted the women's game when so few girls and women had anything resembling equal opportunity. And then Coach Summitt had early onset Alzheimer's, really sad for an amazing mind. And she told the public, she told the world, saying, I have the disease and I'll face it, and I want to help destigmatize it. And she did. Janet Reno was the first female Attorney General of the United States, always lived with integrity, intellectual prowess. And then she had Parkinson's and lived with courage and grace. United Nations Secretary General Boutros Boutros-Ghali and former Israeli President and Prime Minister Shimon Peres both lived out the hope. They gave hands and feet to the hope that people can work together across divides and sometimes overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The spiritual giant Elie Wiesel died. Holocaust survivor, Nobel Peace Prize winner. He was a spiritual beacon for our existence. Novelist Harper Lee, who wrote To Kill a Mockingbird, which gave a child's eye view of racial injustice in small town in the South. Iranian film director Abbas Kiarostami bucked the pressure of totalitarian regimes. Both helped us to see and feel a world we might not otherwise have been able to experience because of their gifts of insight and courage. Morley Safer, was a brave, honest journalist who went into dangerous situations in Vietnam and Mexico and the ghetto to tell the truth and let people tell their truth. And Gwen Ifill, my heart is crushed. It died at age 61, co-anchor of PBS NewsHour, African-American woman, Miss Ifill, graciously and with extreme capability broke many barriers. Now I have to, this one is for my pops. I lift up champion golfer Arnold Palmer, who played and lived with such class, and he invented such a tasty beverage, which is very difficult to say when you're sitting. I go and can never really say it well. I always stumble on that. I like an Arnold Palmer. Joe Garagiola. This one, I don't know how many people know who Joe Garagiola was. All right, people, keep hope alive. Gracious baseball player and broadcaster, had grown up from very little in St. Louis with Yankee catcher Yogi Berra, and he used to always quote Yogi, what is it, having deja vu all over again? Or something like that. A nickel, he used to just throw out these things, and you have to just feel how he says it. You know, a nickel ain't worth a dime anymore. And you better go to other people's funerals, or they won't come to yours. And last but not least, I mentioned Zsa Zsa Gabor, and that is simply because my mother and my cousin Sharon told me I had to. So may all of these lives and our own lived experiences allow us to more fully embrace a gratitude for life itself, a desire to give back to others with generosity flowing from ourselves. May these lives, in the words of Unitarian Universalist Minister Forrest Church, may they empower us to want what we have, do what we can, and be who we are. Want what you have, do what you can, be who you are.